Hello guys, my name is Rinki Sharma and welcome to my YouTube channel Fearless English with Rinki. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about which is very important for the beginners. So you should stay connected with this video so that I'm going to share some tips for the beginners how they should start their storytelling. And yes guys, we know that storytelling is a very important part of conversation. So if we want to is fluent in this language, so we should start with the storytelling is a very important part of is this for this language, because whenever we start any kind of conversation, we have to we have to speak a story after that conversation. Like when we start conversation, like introduction, and after some time we have to speak some story, like what had happened with you in past, and like yesterday what you did, all the things you have to share. So storytelling always is you should do, and so that you can get your fluency. It's very important for the beginners. But beginners always think like how we should start storytelling, because we introduction is very like easy, but when we have to start any kind of conversation, we have to indulge ourselves into a story. So how can we share our past experience, how can we make our how can we share those kind of things which we really want to speak with our partner. So you should start with any kind of story. At first you should listen, like you can find that story in YouTube channel. Just listen any kind of story, but make sure that you are just going to listen that story in your native language, so that you can understand that story, what is the main motive of that story. And after that you should try to speak that story in the English language, because what people do, like they started listening any kind of story in English, and they try to make them as like as it was he or she heard in that video. So they are just try to copying that. So and that time they get stuck. So make sure that the story whatever you have listened, so make sure that you are just going to listen that story in your native language, so you can get that language, you can get that story moral, and like you can speak that story in any kind of language. So and it will become very easy for you if you have seen any kind of a story, if you have heard any kind of a story, so you can make that story in English language. And we know translation, each and every person like start with their translation. So you should start your translation. And yes guys, it will take some time, you should take some pauses over there and just record that the story. Okay, just record that story so that you can like complete that story. And you should speak that story completely in English language. Once you have to listen that story in your native language, and secondly what you have to do, you have to try to speak that story in English language. So this is the tip what I wanted to share with you. And guys, if you do this kind of things, I'm sure that you will be able to speak any kind of story. So guys, this was the things what I wanted to share you. And there are some few tips that whenever you speak a story, make sure that you are just going to speak that story in second form. You have to learn second form, because each and every story we have to speak in the second form. So make sure that you have a good knowledge about second verb, second form. So you should start your storytelling like that. And yes, one day you will be able to speak any kind of a story about your life, about whatever you have heard, whatever you are just going to listen, you can translate that very easily. And I'm sure that one day you will speak that story without taking any pauses and without like thinking about that what will be the next line. You would be able to speak that story as you are the native person. So just try to follow these tips. And I'm sure that you will get how can we speak a story. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel, and please friend, do support. And Please stay connected with me. Thank you, guys.